Hello, welcome to another episode of Test Chamber. Jeff Cork, joined by Jeff Marchiafava.
Yeah, two Jeffs.
Here we go, two Jeffs. We're Firewatching it up. We're starting on day 2 because if you've been following coverage of the game, you've seen day 1 several times already. We'll have a link to the preview that we did based on the first day. That's the one with the skinny dippers and the fireworks and all that stuff. So
yeah, and someone trashed my fire watching outpost up here.
And at this point, we don't know who it is. That's one of the mysteries of the game. So let's just get to work, see what's going on.
All right.
I'm awake. What's your problem?
Our problem.
Sorry, our problem.
That storm knocked out the phone line I used to talk to the service, which means we're cut off. I tried radioing out, and that's not working either. I don't really know why that would be the case.
Should I be worried?
About what?
We can't get help if we need it.
Oh, you're tough, Hank. You don't seem like the guy who likes to ask for help.
Sure.
What I need you to do, though, is hike out to where the wire runs through your area and report back if it's down. Then I can track down a ranger to get someone on it.
Okay, I can do that. Where is it?
You probably had to hike through a cave yesterday to get home.
Yeah, I did.
So you're going to want to go back there, go through it, and keep going straight to the north when you come out.
Will do.
Thanks, Hank.
It's Henry.
What, you don't like Hank?
Yeah, I don't like Hank.
But thanks rhymes with Hank.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, all right.
All right, so just a little background info. If you haven't, well, we threw a bunch of books over the railing.
Yeah, I don't know what jerk did that.
So that happened off camera, but it was a very exciting moment. You're Henry, who's a fire watcher in Wyoming. Over the summer, you've kind of left a home life that's turbulent, and depending on how you play the intro, which is kind of a text-only, choose-your-own-adventure type thing, you have some subtle changes you can make to like circumstances that led you here, but ultimately, you're here for a summer, you've got a walkie-talkie, and you're talking to Delilah, who was in that outpost, and you heard her a little bit ago.
Yes. All of that is true.
All right, good.
I'm trying really hard not to get lost.
Okay.
Because as you can tell, this game doesn't have any of the Far Cry type, holograms that show up out in the environment to tell you where to go. All you have is your map and a compass. And I think I'm going the right way.
I don't think you're going to be able to go that way because you're going to have to clear out that brush, and you don't have the right way. So you want to go... Yeah, the little...
Northeast?
Northeast, yep, right down that.
Okay.
Look at us. With our powers combined, we can...
How many Jeffs does it take to find a cave?
It's exactly 2 of us. It was a really pretty game. I enjoyed looking at it.
Yeah, I do like the art style, and for, a game where the majority of what you're doing is just wandering around in a forest, it's nice that the forest actually looks nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's the point of the game is the relationship between Henry and Delilah, so we're taking a slightly different tack in this one where once they start talking, we're going to do our best not to step on their toes and kind of let the dialogue go through, because that's critically important to the game, even though we're starting on the second day, so you're missing something there.
Yeah, we'll shut our dumb mouths when they start talking. Here we go.
Yeah, it's out today, and it's one of the most frustrating experiences I've had in a while, that I want everyone to play it so we can talk about it, because it is, a big narrative-driven game, and so much of it depends on you want to go into it without having it spoiled, because it's interesting what happens, even though ultimately I think it's unsatisfying. But I want people to experience it so then I can talk about it with them, but we're not going to spoil anything for you right now.
Yeah.
Cold out here.
Roger that. Warms up fast. The mornings are cold in Boulder, though, right?
Yeah, they are.
What did you get up to down there? I mean, what's life like?
I don't know. Just used to spend a lot of time with our dog, Mayhem.
Mayhem? What kind of name is that?
He was a German Shepherd, big as a truck.
So why not call him Chevy?
Well, we walked out of the shelter and there was some graffiti on a trash can and it said, dicko mayhem, and he walked over and peed all over it, and there you go.
That's a really cute story?
It is what it is.
Hey, can you hold on a sec?
Sure. Just gonna keep hiking and hoping it warms up.
Heyo. I don't think so. Why, have you? Okay, good. No, I don't think he has any idea. I'm absolutely sure. Would you? All right, I'll let you know if anything changes in that regard.
So here I'm going to suggest that you
Hey, sorry about that.
be a big jerk
Anyway,
about it.
I thought about it, and that story is cute. And sorry, but you said we? You owned him with someone?
Who was that?
Who was who?
I don't think he has any idea. What was that? Were you talking about me?
What?
You left your button pressed or something.
Henry, that call was work. I was just talking to... Actually, it's not really your business. Why are you freaking out?
I'm not freaking out.
Good. I'm gonna go quiet for a little bit. Call me if it's important.
Ooh. All right. Now you've managed to piss her off, you big jerk.
You told me to.
I hope you're happy. How dare you?
Actually, I didn't do that in the first time I played, so it's kind of interesting to see that you can do it to the point where she will no longer talk to you.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, even though I thought the ending was kind of a big bummer, I did play through it twice and methodically went and kind of chose alternate paths. And there's a whole lot of stuff that you won't get if you just play through it once. So I recommend doing it a couple times at least.
Yeah, I've noticed that this morning too. As we've been kind of playing through these early opening moments, a lot of the conversations have been different from what I had the first time, and you can see how it's starting to shape the relationship a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
For one, she thinks I'm a big jerk now.
Yep. You're welcome.
I can see the wire you're talking about. It looks like it's in good shape from here.
We'll follow it up to the top of the trail if you can. You can head back as soon as you give me the all clear.
Got it.
And they do a good job of kind of fairly diverse set of paths you can take, and so you can certainly get lost. But at the same time, it's not a, hey, see that thing over there? You can get over there for sure. You know, it is.
Yeah. There are distinct paths, but there will also be times when you're just out in the woods,
So we really can't
and it
reach
actually feels like
anyone
you can
any other
wander
way than these
around.
wires?
What else do you suggest? Smoke signals?
Just seems dangerous.
Well, if they don't hear from me for a few days, they'll send someone out, but I'd rather it not come to that.
It's fascinating to watch you try to walk through trees and stuff. You're just a strong
Just
person.
going right into him. Yeah, that may not be deliberate. Beer cans.
Hey, so there are beer cans all over the ground up here leading up the hill.
That's annoying.
Yeah, thing is, there were a bunch down at that campsite yesterday.
Coincidence, maybe?
I don't think so. Same brand, everything.
These fucking kids.
How could these girls be so stupid?
Trust me, I never underestimate the stupidity of a drunk teenager. Also, I never underestimate the balls of a drunk young woman, having been one.
Yeah, okay, the wire's down here.
Okay, good. Any sign of those girls? Did they mess with anything?
I'll look around.
So apparently they wrote "Go to hell" on their underwear. There you go.
That's
Or is that your
Okay, so
underwear?
the
Who
wire
knows?
is definitely down out here. I just found
someone's underwear.
it. Yeah, the
I deserved
thing
it
is,
after what
I
doesn't
yelled at them.
look like the wind. It looks like it was cut deliberately.
I knew it the moment you said you found their trash. These idiots are gonna pay. Do they realize this is how people die? I mean, what if something happened to one of my lookouts while this was going on? And God forbid there's an actual fire burning out of control.
What do you want to do?
I want you to go find them.
And then what?
I haven't thought that far ahead. That's not true. Everything that comes to mind is illegal.
Let's hear it.
Oh yeah?
Hey, I came out here for a breath of fresh air and some adventure. What do you got?
I think I want you to just find them and scare the hell out of them.
Yeah, I'd make a spooky ghost costume, but they stole my sheets.
I don't know. Wait for them to wander off and wreck their camp. Something that would make a teenage girl run home to mommy and daddy.
I'll find them.
Thanks.
But I am gonna need a raise.
Don't hold your breath. I'd start by hiking back towards your tower and just keep an eye out for anything that would lead you to them.
Well, they're big into Red Eagle.
Great. See if you can find the path they took down from there. Maybe they looped back around towards the lake or something. I doubt they're where they were yesterday, but they obviously can't have gone far.
You've already destroyed their radio, too, where they were
did.
skinny dipping on the beach. So, dumped it into the lake, so...
They're not going to be happy. Okay, so I guess we are going to the meadow over by the lake, if we can find that again.
There's an abandoned pack out here.
And it's not one of the teens?
No, it looks like it was lost a long time ago.
Well, you could always pilfer it for supplies.
Well, I am flush with ropes now. That pack was full of them, in decent condition, too.
That's lucky.
I mean, there's enough rope here that I could just leave them hooked up, I think. Oh, get this. This pack came with one of those cardboard single-use cameras.
With pictures left?
Yeah, he only used 3 or 4.
Neato.
Thank you, Brian Goodwin.
Wait, who?
The bag had the name Brian Goodwin sewn into the top.
Huh. Wow.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I just haven't heard that name in a few years.
Was he a ranger or something?
Oh, no. He was stationed in Two Forks, your lookout, with his dad Ned 3 summers ago. Great kid.
You can bring children out here?
No. You know, I'm not a stickler for rules. They took off halfway through the summer.
Why? Where did they go?
I don't know. I never really hit it off with old Ned, and, one day they were just gone. Sucks. Anyway, so it goes. Have, fun with that camera. Try not to snap anything that would scar a Photodome employee.
I don't know. I got a lot of hiking to do. Might get bored.
Well, I'm bored as rocks, so I'll keep you company while you find those girls, huh?
I see a really thin plume of smoke.
Yeah, I see it too. A thin plume like this is either a new fire or a campfire.
Campfire. You think it's them?
I reckon so.
It looks like it's to the southwest of me.
That's right. If you hike towards 5 Mile Creek, that should put you in the neighborhood. Keep an eye on that smoke plume. Let me know if it's getting any larger.
Will do.
I think that is ultimately one of the things I really like about the game is just how a lot of these, like, we call them first-person experience games. There's like a lot of different walking
Sorry about
simulators.
snapping at you
Oh, wait.
earlier. I thought about it, and yeah, I suppose that must have sounded kind of weird when you heard me take that other call. Plus, you're just out here in your own head. Trust me, I know how it is. So, did you break any hearts back in Colorado when you took this job? I myself have chosen to never get attached to anyone who would miss me, but I know I'm a bit of an outlier.
We don't really need to talk about this stuff, right?
Well, what would you prefer?
Literally anything?
Do you want to know about the homeopathic remedy for yeast infections I came up with last summer?
Okay, never mind.
You're lost, pal.
As I was saying before, Delilah so rudely interrupted me. What I like about it is that a lot of these games where you're just walking around, it always seems like you're kind of a weirdo who's just talking to themselves or a voyeur. Oh, come on, Delilah. You're killing me.
Excuse me, Flapjack?
You know, like a loser, a chotch.
I really don't, but I do now.
Well, the next time you're at a bar and some banker steps on your foot so he can order his crappy martini, you've got just the name to use.
Hey, Flapjack, why don't you wait your turn before I bounce your face off a dumpster?
It's beautiful.
So as you were saying,
Anyway, I really like the way the walkie-talkie works because
Yeah.
it actually makes it seem like you're having a conversation with somebody to some degree, and also the way the dialogue branches off, I think is interesting. It's not just picking up an object and kind of holding it in your hands and going, "Oh, this globe sure reminds me of the time I was in summer camp." You know, feels like there's at least the illusion that you're interacting with another person. It makes the whole thing feel a lot more natural.
yeah, it's a nice mix of solitude and then getting to know Delilah and getting to know your own character and
Yeah.
kind of shaping their relationship.
Absolutely. Even though, like as I mentioned in the review, man, the ending is a real letdown. I think that they introduced this mystery that just does not pay off in a satisfying way.
Yeah.
I can appreciate what they were going for, but it just really rings false. But I think the actual relationship that Henry and Delilah have throughout the game is a highlight for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And viewers have probably gotten a sense a couple times like this when the music kicks in. It has a great score that kind of punctuates certain moments like this. All in all, it's a very interesting game.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a tree out here that's been ripped to hell.
And,
Don't you think that's, disconcerting?
Henry, there are 500-pound grizzly bears out here. They sharpen their claws on trees.
We don't have grizzlies in Colorado. People killed them a long time ago.
Well, in the thoroughfare, they hunt people, they kill people, they bury their bodies, and then come back weeks later to eat them because they prefer rotten meat. People just disappear.
Don't you think that's disconcerting?
No, Henry, that's life.
Christ, lady.
All right. Like that instance there was like an optional thing. You didn't have to point out the cloud tree or ever. You highlight stuff and you'll get the walkie-talkie icon, or you might see like the eye symbol that appears in the corner, and that's another thing that's kind of like reporting an observation or something. So a lot of it, ultimately, it's not like a super long game. You could probably beat it in about 4 hours if you're just mainlining it, sticking to the path and everything. But I think you comfortably explore and check out a lot of the cool things it has to offer in about 5.5 or so. So I think it's a nice length for what it is.
Yeah, and in that sense, I guess that is kind of the point of these
You know, if it makes
first-person
you feel any
exploration
better,
games.
You're a member of a diverse club of lookouts that have come to the thoroughfare after a breakup. I mean, I assume you went through a breakup. At least that's my best guess at this stage. There was Vernon, whose wife got put away for running cocaine. Becca, who was widowed after her husband, a jockey, was trampled by his horse.
Okay, that jockey story is actually about you, huh?
No. But can you believe that? It's crazy, right?
Well, so then who?
I'm the rare breed. My heart's intact. That doesn't mean I didn't join up to get away.
I don't believe you. Why put on such a show?
It's not a show.
It's your business. Just don't lie.
Maybe I'm horribly disfigured.
Are you?
Play your cards right, and maybe you'll find out, fella.
Found one of their empties. Guess we're on the right track.
Roger that.
Yeah, definitely recommend that people check it out. I give it a 7.75 in the review. Things it does well, it does so incredibly well, but boy, it really blew it with the ending. in my
Yeah, the
opinion.
ending, I think a lot of people are going to end up talking about it, and maybe not all for good.
Yeah, and I'd love to revisit this at some point when we're able to speak a little more freely out of it, about it. We could certainly talk about it now, but I want to give people a chance to at least play through it themselves and check it out and come up with their own thoughts on it first. So thanks for getting us lost in the woods, Fava. I appreciate it.
That's my specialty.
Thanks for being a big jerk to Delilah.
Yep.
And I never heard that thing about the yeast infection, so that was enlightening.
You learn something new every time.
There you go. Well, thanks for watching, and there you go.
See you next time.
about bears and fires, and that's about it. Now I've got to worry about some deranged hiker going after lookouts. Great.
Fuck
Okay,
it.
in the morning I'm going to call my friend Patty, who works the desk down in Cody. They keep a list of everyone